You're watching Let's with Ayuma. Hey, I'm Ayuma Michelle and welcome to Let's with Ayuma. This is an online safe space that I started to empower progressive women from all around the world, just like you and I, to thrive with purpose. Today, I'll be speaking with you about how to make room for a higher you. How to make room for a higher you. And it's inspired by some amazing events that have been happening recently, which I'll share with you soon. But first, you know what time it is? If you've been watching this channel and you found value from it, please subscribe. Most of you I know who watch this channel haven't subscribed yet, so please do subscribe if you found value, and please share with another woman who equally needs these messages, right? Because from the last video that I shared, we need to be cup bearers. If somebody has given you something useful, please also share that useful thing to another person. It's a cycle and it always comes back to you. It's a cycle of abundance. Also, please help me reach 1,000 subscribers this year. It was a goal for me last year, but for some reason I never reached it. So please help me reach my goal of reaching 1,000 this year. I believe it's possible, and you've been seeing I've been putting a lot of effort to produce very good quality content that is tangible and very practical, okay? So please, if you've subscribed, invite 2 friends. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and invite 2 friends, okay? I want this message to reach as many people as possible, okay? So, back to the topic of today, right? How to make room for a higher you. So, story time. So, there's this amazing woman called Danielle Leslie, and I'll share her website below. Please check it out. She is amazing. She is a powerhouse. So, she is an American entrepreneur, and Forbes actually calls her a millionaire maker because that's exactly what she does. She runs these courses about how to create a course from scratch based off of your passion and this unique experience and unique gift that you can offer the world. So she's been doing that for a couple of years, and she's gotten great experience, and actually she's gotten featured by Forbes as a millionaire maker because that's exactly what she does. So I enrolled to her masterclass, and she also invited those of us who enrolled into her online community, which is, some people who are our clients, some people like us who are new to her community but have been following her for quite some time. So what she did is that over the last 2 weeks, she gave us a sneak peek into some of her frameworks and the things that she's been applying to grow her business to a millionaire business, a $1 million business, and because this is a goal that I personally have, not only for my life but also for my business, I followed in because I was like, okay, this is a space of abundance. Let somebody who is where I want to be speak to me and share with me these frameworks. But this is the cool thing that she shared. She was actually able to grow because she made room for the woman that she desires to be. So she wasn't thinking about the Danielle that she is now. She was thinking about the Danielle that she wishes to be, who has a $1 million business. And she started with making thousands, even hundreds. Actually, she started by charging people hundreds, but she wanted to grow to a place where she got thousands and then get to a place where she has $1 million, where she's making millions, right? And I learned a very important thing from her, which is, number one, her long-term results, what she did to get there, just one of the things she did to get there. And that's on long term because she's done this for quite some time. This is a habit that she cultivated, right? And I'll share with you the long-term result of what happened. And for me, what I have actually tried out this week, I learned it from her, from the masterclass, and I was like, hey, let me try it out this week. And I'm already experiencing results, guys. I'm already experiencing results. So I'll share with you these short-term results in my life. Then I'll also share with you the long-term results in her life and in her experience. And it starts with just one question. If you've got a pen and notebook, don't write on papers, guys. Write on a notebook so that you can find that book and go back to it and follow up on your actions, right? This one question, I want you to ask yourself, okay? Just one question. Which habit do I need to cultivate on a regular, consistent basis that is sending opportunity my way? Let that sink in. I'll share that question again. Which habits, we're talking about habits here, this is beliefs, practices, whatever it may be, do I need to cultivate on a regular, consistent basis? Regular meaning daily, consistent meaning frequency, that is sending opportunity my way. So this is what Danielle did in her experience, and it actually worked for her, and I'll share with you the long-term results, right? So for Danielle, this happened actually over months, right? The transformation started happening within months. And this is because she had been working in Silicon Valley for quite some time. And then she was part of the first group of people who worked at Udemy, which is an online site which creates courses, where people can create courses and earn from it, right? She was amongst the first group of people. But when she jumped out of the Udemy, she learned so much there. And so she's now created this new business out of how to teach people to create courses out of their passions and out of their experiences. And the reason why this really worked out for her beyond Udemy is because she's an African American woman with both, I think her father is Jamaican and her mother is from Panama. So she's definitely a mixture of these global minority groups. And I think because many of us who belong to global minority groups, unfortunately, we have to consume a lot of content and a lot of advice and a lot of examples from white groups, from white people, right? But that is not but sometimes some of this advice does not really apply to us, because our context, and the texture of our opportunities and how the world sees us isn't the same as the advice that we are being offered. So the reason why I really appreciated her advice is because she's a minority woman, Jamaican, Panama, and she's offering me advice and experience and what works for her. So that is really relatable to me. And she was teaching people that, however, what makes you unique, what actually makes you different, is what makes you stand out with your unique. And you can bank on that, you can market that, and you can earn lots of profit and get lots of impact in this world just because of that. So I wanted you to know that, because I know most of you women who watch this channel, many of you are global minority women. And I want you to know that if this happened for Danielle, and if this has happened for me in just a few days, even before the week ends, it is possible for you too. So I wanted you ladies to have this background so that you understand why it is important, why this specific advice is important. And so she was able to build this hobby, something that she knew, or skill, into something which she can build her profession around. But guess what? It gets to a point where you need to go beyond your profession and you need to build your influence around, which is now what she's done. For Forbes to call her, it means she's built some kind of influence so that she can be featured. But that is not it. Beyond getting influence, you now need to get her to a place where she's a brand. So when you think of creating courses for minority people, I think of Danielle. I immediately think of Danielle. Or people who are just different, I think of Danielle. Beyond Udemy, beyond whatever is out there, right? So this is what she was able to do that is very, very influential, that I actually also practiced, and I got this amazing short-term results. But this is what worked for her in long term. So she focused on what is essential. And this, because this is targeted at many minority women, this is something important that I want to share with you. Of course, all of the people who do her courses and the people that she serves are all types of people, including white people. But I just love that she's teaching from her context and her experience. And when I see her thrive, I also see myself thriving. Okay? So number one, she focused on what is essential. Essential. And how she did this is that she realized, let me share these two tips first. Oh, and I hope that you're noticing my new glasses. I really love them. and I've been reading quite a lot since morning, so I was like, let me just keep at it. So number one, she did these two things. Number one, she managed her time better, and this is because she realized that, and especially this speaks to us women. Look at the woman that you are today, and look at the millionaire woman, the dollar millionaire woman that you desire to be. Look at how you spend your time today, and then look at how the dollar millionaire woman that you desire to be, how she spends her time. And you tell me what needs to change immediately. What needs to change? So for Danielle, she learned that she needed to manage her time better. And when she looked at the amount of time she spends in marketing or with clients that earns her more money, she realized, oh, there's a loophole in how I spend my time. An example she shared is that she learned that she spends 2 hours cleaning her bathroom. 2 whole hours in a day cleaning her bathroom. And then she spends another hour on top whining about how she has to clean her bathroom. And she openly shared this, right? And so she learned this in total is 3 hours that she spends away from her business, which could potentially earn her more money, which could get her closer to her being a millionaire woman, to her business earning millions, right? And so she learned to do number two, outsource. She learned to outsource. So what she ended up doing is that was one thing, one task in a day, which was eating time from her business, from her becoming a millionaire, right? So that is one task, cleaning the bathroom. She looked at another thing. She was like, oh my goodness, cleaning. Other things. She was like, oh my goodness, cooking, prepping food and all that. And so she was able to look at these gaps that were eating time from her business, that were eating the opportunity from her becoming a millionaire. So she outsourced. And by outsourcing, it means she reached out to a cleaning company that came and cleaned her house so that she didn't need to even spend a lot of time thinking about that. She started ordering in food so that she can actually focus good quality healthy food. I don't mean snacks and stuff like that, unhealthy snacks, good quality food, so that she does not have to worry about chopping stuff and cleaning dishes and stuff like that. She just focused on that. And the reason why this was important is because she had given herself a timeline. I need to put in this work for my business to get to this place where I need to be. And she looked at that outsourcing. Yes, you pay money, of course, for this outsourcing, but she said that if she spends a few $100s on food per month or on outsourcing services per month, what is she getting in return? Millions. That is the return of investment back into her life and her business. She's earning back millions. And the reason why this is important is because I work with many women, and I know that many of us struggle with putting ourselves first, with prioritizing ourselves in our own lives. We normally put other things, duties and stuff ahead of our success. And that's why when we compare ourselves with men, do you think men have to worry about cooking food? Do you think men have to worry about cleaning kids? Do you think men have to worry about cleaning the bathroom? No. And that is why they go ahead of us, they surpass us, and they earn those millions faster than us. So for us women, we have to be very wise with how we spend our times. Already, our cultures already demand that our time belongs to everyone. But in order for us to grow in our passions and our businesses, because guess what? Business does not care for gender roles. Business does not care for tasks. Business cares about what you put in, and it will show you what you put in with what you get out. So if you put in the time, the money, and the seriousness, your business will show you. I was just sharing with another friend just last month, and she's a scientist. She's an amazing researcher and scientist, and I was just laughing because I had just done my financial analysis for my business. I had just audited it, and I was like, I shared with her that isn't the most humbling thing in business facing your own profit and loss statement. Like that's your business shows you this is what you put in and this is what you got out. In this whole year, this is how much profit you've made. And that's why I'm saying numbers don't lie. And so when it comes to business, you really have to be very wise about how you spend your time, because whatever you put in, you get out. Energy grows where your energy goes. So if you're growing your energy, if you're putting a lot of energy in building your business, in marketing, and showing up in spaces that allow you to grow your business, it will show. But if you're spending your time elsewhere, then it will grow wherever elsewhere is, okay? So this is how it worked for Danielle. She put in the time, she put in the effort, and yes, she got the money. She grew from earning 10K per month, that is $10,000 per month. In months, she grew her business from earning 10,000 per month to 10 million per month. Yes, it is possible. She grew from being $1,000 business per month to a $10 million business per month. And yes, that's why Forbes called her, you know? And but this is the thing, she needed to get to a point where she said, let me put aside this whole hat I've given myself, or all of these random responsibilities. Let me outsource that so that my business can get what it needs, so that my lifestyle can improve. If I want my life to improve, if I want my $1 million woman to happen, then I need to start living like her now. And in fact, I've just watched something this morning that was about from Seth Godin, who's this like powerhouse global influencer marketer guy. And he shared that habits get the job done, but the goal is the result. So many of us are taught to focus on goals, but a goal, you cannot control a goal. It either happens or it doesn't. But what really helps you achieve a goal is habits. So these habits are like what Danielle has taught us, which is she focused on the essentials by, number one, managing her time better by prioritizing the things that will lead to her business success, the things that will help her spend more time towards earning more clients and showing up in spaces which earns her more money. And number two, outsourcing. You don't have to do everything. Learn that you don't have to do everything. In fact, the most successful people I know actually outsource. And for those of us who are believers, who are Christians, I know many of us think about the Proverbs 31 woman, but just read that text very carefully. For that Proverbs 31 woman to be successful, she had many people around her working and supporting her. She outsourced so that her mind can be focused on, how do I grow? So we need to be the same. We need to be the same. In that book, the Bible, it has so many wise teachings. So if the Proverbs 31 woman was able to do so much, it's because she outsourced. So let us learn that for your business to really grow, what do you need to outsource so that you can focus more on that which can get you to being the woman that you need to be, or that you can be, because you can. So this is the greatest lesson I have learned from Danielle, which is actually true. Time is your greatest currency. I know people like saying, oh, it is money. No, money is an energy, and it grows where you put it and where you invest it. But time, my goodness, and as a consultant and a coach, I can tell you that time is the greatest currency we have in today's world and in today's economy. So what are you spending your time on, and how are you investing it? So that is Danielle's example from the long term, right? She grew from 10K to 10 million with those practices. So I'll share with you how this looked like for me just this week. The week hasn't even ended, but I'll share with you. But by the time you're watching this, the week will have ended. So these are the results. These are the practices. These are the habits that I put in, and these are the results that I'm already getting just by shifting my choices and my habits, and following Danielle's example. So I also focused on what is essential. And number one, I needed to be very honest with myself. The one thing I was very honest with myself is that, how will the millionaire Ayuma spend her time? How does she spend her time? Like genuinely, if I'm thinking I'm a millionaire today, which I know I already am, I'm just becoming, right? But if I am to think of myself as a millionaire woman, how do I really spend my day? And it really required a lot of me thinking of myself from a space of abundance and not thinking about where I'm at now, because sometimes our current circumstances have nothing to do with our future. The future you, like the woman that you're becoming, that you're choosing to become, the circumstance that you are in right now has nothing to do with the person that you're going to be in, but your choices will. Your choices and your habits will. And this is why I'm sharing this video with you. So yes, I needed to be very honest with myself so that I know the stark difference with how I'm spending my time now and how she spends her time. Number 2, I needed to manage my time better. So this is the reality. For a very long time, I have been working under an American time zone. And this is because my top clients, my well-paying clients, highest paying clients are American. That's the reality. But this is the thing. I needed to be very real with the current situation because things have changed, and I've pivoted my business quite a number of times since this pandemic started. So I needed to really manage my time differently. So yes, I used to work on an American time zone, and yes, I have also worked with some American companies, and my time zone used to be their time zone. So I used to do lots of things during the day, creative projects, whatnot, going for meetings, events. But now I no longer do much of that because of COVID. My movement has really been changed, but also I moved out of the city. So I asked myself, okay, how do I need to now manage my time better? And that challenged me that yes, I know many of us creatives, we work best at night, but I also need to think like a business person, you know? So, and the kind of money and the kind of changes I want to see in my business. So what I've been doing is waking up much earlier than I used to. And going to sleep much earlier than I used to. That's one change that I've made just in this 1 week. And I'm already seeing results. This is the thing. Before, people didn't used to call me. And that was just a thing. People just used to call me. But for some reason, and I believe this is also in spiritual alignment, because I shared with you ladies that my word for this year is obedience. And I believe obedience also means showing up in the morning and putting God first. So for me, my business strategy is literally God is my CEO, and I consult with him first before I start my day or before I start my business. So I always consult with God first. So by showing up and prioritizing God, my time with God and seeking his counsel first, I'm literally seeing the result. I kid you not, in this 1 week, people have just been randomly calling me with opportunities. I've been invited to attend an amazing event where I don't have to pay. Actually, 3 events. 3 events. One event by a top influencer in Kenya. I don't have to pay. Number 2, I've been invited for a very, very exclusive event because I'm a public speaker. Another one, I have been invited to serve as a public speaker. Another one, I've been invited, by the way, this is 5. I've been invited to speak at a certain organization, international organization. But because they looked at my profile, they said, no, Ayuma, we've invited another speaker, but for you, looking at your qualifications, let us discuss later on this month because we see a bigger opportunity for you. Can you imagine? In just 1 week, 5 opportunities have shown up. And it's just because I shifted this habit of starting my day earlier. That means I'm more accessible to people with opportunities. That means they were already looking for me, but I needed to be there and awake and alive and ready to do business for them to actually meet me and negotiate for these opportunities. So that's one thing that has happened this week. Also, number 3, I have learned to stay on my lane. Stay on my lane means I am not yet the millionaire Ayuma that I know I am becoming. I'm not yet there. But I needed to look at my bank account, be very grateful for every single coin, shilling, and dollar that I have. Know that this is what I have in my hands, and then be able to plan now, and also looking at the kind of people that are coming to me to be served by me, looking at the kind of people I have immediate access to right now, looking at the experience I currently have right now and price my products and services based off of the experience I have so far right now. It is not going to be permanent, but once I build my thought leadership, once I build my services, once I build this client base out of where I am at right now, once I am grateful for what I have right now, I will then be able to never look back, but only keep moving forward, so that I can later on become this amazing millionaire woman that I am becoming. Okay? And another thing I have done is I've shown up. Show up meaning phone calls. Be available when people call you. You know, there's a time I didn't used to pick up calls because I used to receive lots of prank calls. But nowadays, I pick up a call anyway. And I use Truecaller to identify people. I pick up calls, I respond to emails, and I show up for opportunities that can help me grow and earn. So I showed up. But the number one way in which I needed to show up is start off my day with God. Because He also needs you to show up. And if you show up, He'll be like, okay, now you're ready. Let me now bring the opportunities your way. So that you do not embarrass yourself and embarrass Him, you know. So I showed up. I've just learned how to show up. And I've been showing up in so many places. And this week I also got published by YAZA Africa as 100 influential women in Africa. And I'm so proud of it. My story is up today, which is Thursday. So you should be able to read it. I'll put it on my description box below. And I'm so glad that I was able to be picked by YAZA Africa and I was able to submit my story. How amazing is this, guys? Like, this is just in 1 week. The week hasn't even ended. I'm just on day 4, you know? And the last thing that I did, just like Danielle, is to outsource. I learned how to outsource. So this is an example. This week I knew that I had these 2 blankets that I had to wash. I'm not afraid of doing domestic duties, but I just learned that it was going to eat a lot of my time, a lot of my attention. I was like, I need my mind to be focusing on my business, not on washing my blankets. So what I did is my neighborhood has a WhatsApp group for business. So I just reached out and I was like, who cleans? Who's able to do this? Reached out to the guy, was like, how much does it cost? He was like, this how much it costs. I told him, please come pick the blankets. He came and picked the blankets, washed them. By the end of the day, I had clean blankets. You know what? And that helped me focus more on my business and a current project I'm working on right now, which urgently needed my attention. Because I know how my mind works. If I'm thinking of so many tasks in the day, I will not be able to focus. And the powerful thing is that I got to invest in somebody else's business who's greater at doing that more than me, you know? So I just learned how to outsource. Another thing that I outsource is tax services. I just don't like thinking about tax, you know? So I just outsourced to get my taxes filed. And I got my taxes filed. Now I can go ahead of the year without any worries about taxes because I outsourced. I paid somebody else who's really great at that to do that for me, and I've empowered another local business, right? So you get to do more when you outsource, so that now your business gets your best. You can grow the capacity of your business. So that's what I share. That's what I'd like to share with you ladies today. Please share with me below which great nugget you're walking away with from this particular from this video today. And don't forget to check my description box for the resources that I've shared with you. Check out Danielle, but also check out my story, which has been published on YAZA Africa. Again, remember, women, this is Women's Month, and this is very important. Remember to prioritize yourself in your own life. For you to become that amazing woman and for you to live and to actualize your wildest woman dreams, you need to prioritize yourself. But what does that look like? What is one habit you're going to cultivate, non-negotiable, that will push you forward to the woman that you choose to be? Please comment below. What is one habit that you're willing to cultivate, non-negotiable, that will help you push you forward to the woman that you know you can be? Okay? That's all for today. This is Let's with Ayuma, an online safe space that I started to empower you, the global progressive woman, just like you and I, to thrive with your purpose, okay? Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe. And if you've got any questions or any topics you'd like me to talk about, please email me at info@letsfindyourstory.com. Again, I'm Ayuma Michelle. See you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye bye.